What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 25 of the Overview. I'm ChanManV, and we've got a whole new cast here today with me because Ben and Jason are away and doing various cool things. But I have the pleasure of being joined by Ster here to my right, who is you guys know him, streamer. He's an analyst now and a caster or whatnot. So welcome to the show,
Apparently.
Ster.
Hi.
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 He used to be a co-host, just to clear. So people that don't know, he used to be a co-host on this show until.
How many episodes? 2 we're looking at?
No, like
I think
four or five, right?
Yeah, I think it was 4.
And then he told me, I'm just not sure I'm going to be doing Overwatch for that long, guys. So, Chris, so I'm not sure we're going to be doing.
That is very true.
Yeah. Also joining us today is Huck, who has been on the show before. Again, another analyst, and you've casted games too, right? Overwatch, have you? Have you casted any games yet? Yeah, you've casted. Yeah, so
wow.
And I forgot if you casted. Wow. I know you've been on the analyst desk like 3 times now.
You think like Stephen Colbert does? They do before they bring people on. They research.
Yes.
We're supposed to be involved in Overwatch. I've casted like 3 or 4 events. I think I've been to most of everybody.
I've been so impressed by your analyst work that I just, it just overrides everything. But welcome to the show, Huck.
Thanks, man.
And then joining us actually for a second time is from the champion from Atlantic Showdown, from Team Rogue.Reinforce. How's it going, man?
What up, man?
How you feeling?
I'm all good, man.
Feeling with the thick pockets right now?
Yeah, thick pockets. Just gotta get the money,
Yeah, I wonder how long that takes, actually.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
I've
good
heard
stuff.
Good things.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, man. Can't wait to hear all your thoughts on the tournament.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Can't wait to talk about it. Yes, the excitement is real. It's definitely real. All right, but real quick, I guess, recap of everything we're going to do. We're going to talk about a lot of the new things that were announced at GamesCom. Some of these guys saw it. Some of these guys are working, so we'll just try to at least get as much as at least opinion or just thoughts on most of these, what these guys think about it. That includes like new map, the new short animation, maybe some changes to season 2, and anything else we might have heard at Gamescom. Maybe some of what these guys saw behind the scenes that we didn't get a chance to see. And then we're gonna spend most of the time talking about the Atlantic Showdown, given that these guys all were working it or playing in it. And really just breaking down just all the results and just the play and overall thoughts on how the event went, given that it was like a 7-week event, which is probably the longest Overwatch event we've had to date. So we'll do that. And then at the end, we'll do some viewer Q&A where you guys, of course, get a chance to ask your questions. You can tweet that to me at ChanManV, or we'll try to take some from Twitch chat too. Okay, so I know you guys were working, but... New map. Did you guys get a chance to see the new map? Maybe not play it on the PTR, but
I skipped the line at Gamescom and got to play it once, which I didn't even want to do because I knew when I sat down it was like 3 widows on attack that have never used computers before. I didn't get to see much besides the spawn room. It seemed like a really nice map. They tried a lot of new things on it, like the aerial space is way different, so Pharah actually has some things to do. Mm-hmm. They kept saying that it was an indirect nerf to Discord because the sightlines were so hard, but that's really optimistic.
Yeah, from my perspective, all I saw was a gif of Symmetra taking all the trash from one of the rooms and piling it up, and then a Pharah shooting it and it going all over the place. So far, I think the map's wonderful because I thought that was pretty funny.
Wow!
So
this analyst, this.
I mean, I think it's a pretty map, but like almost every map is really pretty and interesting. I mean, as long as they can keep it fresh and have every map have its own unique theme, I think people are generally going to get artistic value.
Yeah,
that's the thing too. Not just the theme; it feels different. Like very different than the other payload maps, which is really good. It's like actually has maybe other characters could be good on it, like Pharah, because it's so vertical.
Dude, you're gonna see tons of Pharah, dude. You don't want another Pharah map after this patch, dude.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Every map I want to be a Pharah map. I'm one of those people.
You're one of those people.
Damn. Yeah.
So those that might not be familiar, let me see if I can show this. I had it ready to show here, just so you guys can get at least a look at. All right, let me bring this up. But it definitely has, it's a payload map. It's got, half of the map is outside. Actually, probably more than half of the map is outside. And then you have that little brief part that's inside the castle, which, I don't know. You think the inside the castle is that fair friendly? You might not have even seen it, Ster. I don't even know if you even got to play that.
What I've seen is I actually saw some people last night. You can stand on the top of the chandeliers, and they're getting Reinhardts up there with May walls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty interesting. I'm surprised you can stand on them because they looked very similar to the other chandeliers, like on King's Row. And
can't stand.
I don't know. I'm sure it doesn't matter at all, but it's a thing you can do.
Yeah, definitely just the path of the payload on the outside is very, very thin. So I think that's why a lot of people have been talking about just the aerial space of Pharah and just being able to do that. And maybe that's why they think it's a nerf to Zen, like you were saying too.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a ton of trees that if you look up and even if you're looking for Pharah, it's kind of hard to see where she's flying.
Okay. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
I only played it once, but it feels like you can only have a defensive Pharah because there's like towers and shit in the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I can see that like a lot of teams will just stand on high ground and just like shoot from above. So you can't really jump up towards them with a Pharah or something. So
maps where people stand up high to concussion blast, there's a lot of places to fall next to those towers.
But, like,
I wouldn't be surprised to see
towers
people...
aren't flat, dude. Like you can't fall down, There's like
you could fall down.
Small
you could fall down.
You could fall down.
No, like on one of the towers, it has like a broken side to it, so people can push off the back. It doesn't have the full ring defending it. I don't know, like...
Can you like fall into the void?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
there's a
most
part.
of that area of the map around the bridge is...
It's meant for
everywhere.
it. It's basically meant for like a fire.
It's like more than King of the Hill maps.
Yeah. But it definitely looks interesting. I mean, so I guess the real question, for Reinforces, how long does it take for a new map to actually come into competitive play? Like, you guys feel confident enough to play it?
I mean, it depends on how much you play it. But if you just like do regular scrims and maybe play like once per scrim session, maybe like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. I mean, we've never done this before, I think, because the last map was Ilios, and basically all the teams hated Ilios, so no one practiced
Route
Ilios,
66.
and no one became good at it.
Route 66.
Yeah, but that
that's
was
another
like closed beta, no? That was like...
Route 66
almost
was the last one to come out, wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think it was Ilios.
Well, this guy doesn't even play this game.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, to your point, Route 66 is very...
No,
very
but I
hard.
think if... I mean, there's E-League coming up next month, and I think teams will be ready, at least, and have like good strats for it, for E-League.
That'd be good. I mean, it's
I
always...
think it takes longer to get... Yeah, I think it takes longer to get good on a map than like a hero. So like, people are already like experienced with Anna by now, but I think it's gonna take longer to get used to a new map.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, thematically, just with this whole medieval castle thing, I mean, pretty much everything announced at GamesCom revolved around that. And that included the new short animation, the last Bastion short animation, which I think some of you guys actually Reinforce just watched it right for the first time now.
Don't tell anyone, dude.
All of us on my bed. It doesn't matter when you watched it. Doesn't. So, what did you guys think of it?
It's really cute. I heard Rachel and Zoe cried, so that's always a win.
Yeah, it was good. They didn't have a long story to tell, so it wasn't jumbled. I think a lot of the animations and the comics they did have just been like too much at one time. This was just Bird.
Yeah,
I can understand Bird the 7 minute short. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a lot more peaceful. It was like
the beginning.
it was
especially.
more of like a story than just like this is action and constant shit is happening.
though
And
I
it's
gotta
all
say,
very Disney-like.
yeah, again, they keep doing animated shorts of things that we already know, which is disappointing. They just go into the bio of a character and it's like, oh, we all knew Bastion came from a forest and got reactivated and there's some bird shit. I mean, it's a cool short, but I'm always excited to see where did he walk after that? Who did he meet after that? Because I already knew the dude was a dumb robot.
Wasn't there like Numbani or something on the...
Yeah, that was Numbani.
Numbani,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think what their plan, at least, given maybe just a combination of the
No?
comics and the short animation.
That was not Numbani.
That was not?
Yeah, it was
Numbani is in Africa. Do you see the giant forest he's in? You're like,
I don't know what
that's what
city
I'm
that is.
pretty sure.
That
That's
city
Numbani.
looked
It's
like
supposed to be
Numbani.
Numbani.
no,
Yeah.
it was definitely Germany because when he has his flashback,
What?
he sees the German soldiers fighting it, German soldiers wouldn't be fighting in Numbani.
Well, you see, Reinhardt
It just
on the
has a
call,
similar
Okay,
style.
okay,
to
we gotta
Numbani,
see.
but it's
Let's
definitely
let's
not.
just skip. Let's just skip to the end here. When he's looking at the
Overwatch is like
city,
a
that looked like
spaceship, dude.
Numbani to me. All right, let's
It
look
does,
at this.
but it's not.
It was Numbani.
Okay, let's just look
Ster
here.
is from.
Where is it? Where is it?
I thought it was New Bond.
I thought it was
Yeah.
too.
If you're standing in Numbani and you're looking out,
Okay, here
over
we
the
go.
savannah,
Oh, okay. I mean,
it's a savannah.
There's a better shot in this.
yeah, there's a
I think
closer
if
one.
you
There's a
go-
closer
I'm
one.
getting mad.
You're getting
Triggered.
mad.
Triggered.
This is something that triggers Ster for sure. All right, let's see. Where's it get it? Where's it closer?
No, dude, it's like
That
way
picture?
earlier.
That looks like
Yeah, it
looks
starting
very
to-
different.
I'm starting to. I mean, it doesn't make sense that there's a forest. That's 100%.
Yeah, I
There's-
was like, this is in
yeah.
South Africa or whatever.
It's pretty
Well,
far
yeah,
off. I don't know.
Numbani's in
That
South
was my
Africa, right?
first reaction. That was Numbani.
Jesus.
So.
This
Okay,
flashback
okay.
is of German soldiers fighting in Germany.
Yes,
Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
know,
it's-
German
I mean, even the name of the
soldiers
map
can go
is
anywhere.
German, so
Yeah, you're right. I saw some bicycles in that short too. They're just
Yeah, I know. It was ridiculous. They
They were
just kept
fighting in that-
attacking.
ding. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What?
Definitely Germany.
Okay, fair enough. You're right. You're right.
And it links up with Eichenvalde because it has all the dead bastions everywhere. Like, come on, ChanManV. Do you even play this game?
It wasn't just me. It's the other guys too.
God damn it,
Oh my
ChanManV.
gosh.
You're supposed to be
No,
the host and have your
okay.
shit together.
Oh yeah, you see what?
This is what I have to deal with. Oh my god, it's not just getting this thing together, but oh my god, I get
When
shit
it
on,
pans
right?
up
Get
at the
this
end
thing-
and it shows the forest, like the whole like
yeah,
scenery.
here we're looking at
that's,
that. Right? Yeah, here.
that's Africa.
That's every fuck you. Man.
I saw a lion chasing a gazelle.
Yeah, I
into
know.
the distance.
You see the giraffe and everything?
Oh gosh.
Jesus.
I was
But
like
over-
getting triggered by how it wasn't a bunny, and then it was like trees, because it was like, this isn't like a bunny.
Maybe Bastion can just see really far.
Okay, yeah, Anyways, getting back to at least Huck's comment about it being the most, I guess, Disney-like. It definitely seemed the most movie-like, or the cinematography or whatnot was really, really good on it compared to the others.
It was like Wall-E, the movie, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That kind of peaceful, at least the first hour of Wall-E.
Yeah.
So,
But it felt kind of forced, all the emotions and all that. I don't know.
you think it was forced? I mean,
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
Overwatch
was
community
like, oh.
hates like all the feels from these things, and it drives me crazy
No, but, like,
because it's like that's
Hanzo and
part of
Gimli
writing,
was like
dude.
super fucking cool, dude. They were like dragons and shit.
Yeah,
and
but
then
that's
this
the
was, like-
easy. Of course, everybody loves the dragons and
Yeah,
people
but
fucking
this
shooting
was
arrows
like,
at
oh,
each
you
other.
know,
They
His
gave
eyes are blinking, you know, he's sad now. And
they
It's
gave a
just like
robot
this-
that can't talk emotion. So that's kind of cool. He has like PTSD, whatever.
Yeah. But it was
I
just like
thought
the
they
soldier
forced it.
animation too. Everybody hated the soldier one just because. I mean, it was the one that had probably the most feels outside of maybe this one, and I don't know. It's
That was
just
my
one of those
favorite.
things. Is your favorite one the soldier one?
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of depth there that wasn't apparent.
Yeah, you might be the only person I've talked to
I-
that's their favorite.
There's a lot of depth there.
Really?
Why he would even save the daughter, who the daughter's mother is. I think he wouldn't have saved her if it wasn't someone important, and a whole bunch of just. Yeah, I liked it.
All right. Huck, did you like it? Feels
This one, the Bastion one, I liked it a lot. Yeah.
or the soldier
thought
one
it-
too? Like just the generally. Do you like the ones that have
Um,
feels in it? Just the
I
lighting.
like the Bastion one because it feels more unique than the other ones, where I think most of the other ones were more similar.
Yeah.
But I think like maps, they need to make everything, very different than the others. Because if you just have shorts coming out and they're all very similar and they're all action packed or they all don't have unique stories, it gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think we're almost done covering. I think with these short animations, at least the first release of the animations and comics, we're just trying to cover the backstories, and that's what like Ster's getting, I guess, impatient about. Is that all of these are about things that we already know? But we did have one comic where we started to see, characters combined with the last Anna and Soldier one that we saw. So maybe we'll see one of those in the near future with the short animations. That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, there should be theoretically 3 more of them coming. I'd asked at Gamescom, is this officially the start of like season 2? Are they coming soon? And they said, yeah.
Okay, cool. Another
Which
thing.
one do you want, Ster?
Wait, yeah, which one
What?
do you want?
Do you have any requests?
I think Diva could be cool. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they
I
haven't
just
done
want to
anything on
see. Again, I want to see anything that's actually relevant. They released Route 66 and the McCree comic, and it was like nothing happened. The McCree comic has no end, barely has a beginning. They have the map with the train crash. There's got to be a McCree short this time around.
Well, I don't think they'll do a McCree short if they've already, kind of covered some of it in the comics. Like, I think
mean,
Divas
no,
have
the
likely
comics.
counted it in May. It's probably likely. I mean, there are definitely characters they haven't even touched on yet, which I think
No
are
of
more
the
likely
comics
to-
were like deep, right? Like the Reinhardt one was just like them beating a bunch of bandits or whatever.
That one was really bad.
the Dragons one.
Yeah,
The art in all of those is great, but the writing and the text, and I could go on for a long time. They're really bad.
Yeah, the only thing I like the Rhino one, I like the imagery in it, just with the dragons and everything. That was kind of interesting, but not one of my favorites for sure. Speaking of Reinhardt, they talked about or they announced a legendary skin too, which
Skins look amazing.
Let me
I think the
show you
skins
it.
look great.
well, at least I have one snapshot of the screen here. Let's see. Let me show it to you.
I think they're embracing the skins looking a little bit more epic than before.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that Zarya in
This
Heroes
guy.
of the Storm has way better skins than Zarya in the game she's from. So I think they're probably going to start making things look a little bit more majestic.
God,
Yeah, it
this-
seemed
see
like they went like full meme before, and they're like more bizarre.
Right.
But now it's
Right.
like they actually want to make people feel cool when they play something or they have a skin. I just really wish they would make skins more unique and harder to get.
Mhm.
Because I feel like a lot of the skins, as long as you play a lot, you're gonna get them all.
They made the summer skins more unique and harder to get. and
Oh
everyone
my
complained.
gosh.
That's true.
Oh, speaking of which, did y'all get all of them? I had
I didn't
the
get all of them.
worst luck. I only got McCree. That's like the only one I got.
That's the best one though.
I wanted the Genji one though.
I
My
bought
son
boxes,
really wanted
so-
it. I felt so bad for my son. I almost bought a crap load of boxes, but then I just I didn't want him to be spoiled, so I
It's
didn't
not over,
buy.
right?
No,
Isn't
it's
it like
over.
another-
Yeah, it's
Isn't it?
It's over. Yeah.
22nd, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It broke
I
my
just
heart.
scrimmed for like 10 hours a day, so I never got any experience whatsoever. I
Yeah.
don't get loose boxes.
I think top 500. Okay, what are your thoughts on the whole top 500 thing in animated spray? I think top 500 deserves a skin. That's amazing. Of like a
I
line of them.
think
Like,
the first season was a joke, and they gave the points to rank 65 people as an apology for how bad the season was.
woo.
That's how I felt.
Okay. Okay.
No?
Okay. What? I don't know. Anybody agree with that?
What points? I don't understand what happened.
The competitive points, if you're a rank 65 player plus, you got 300, and there was no like real reward for heroic. Like, a lot of people assume that heroic would be the ones to get like 300 points at the end of the season.
Right.
Yeah,
And it
that's
was
kind of
just
stupid.
rank 65.
I guess they just want to like appease the masses, which seems something Blizzard likes to do. So
I think
Yeah.
it feels kind of weird to give people more when there's not like a lot of items out. Like there's a golden weapon for each character. I think they need more items. You can buy
I
before.
think they have to be more rare. I like the way League did their skins and how there's like these super rare, like literally maybe 10 of them out there. Like I think that's really cool because I want to get into a game and I want to see somebody have a really cool skin and be like, wow,
Mhm.
can't believe like that looks
Well,
awesome.
I just
early
figured
on-
I don't have it. Screw that shit.
Early on, I said it was kind of similar to in Hearthstone. You can get a gold portrait for 500 wins. I was like, I guess not everyone has them, and it takes a while. But you could have done 10 placement matches and got a gold weapon.
Yeah.
That's a little bit cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Just any moment in the season, right? If you're top 5,
Yeah, even if you dropped, you
God,
get it.
or if you're 70, I mean, or 65. That's
Mm.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, in League they don't have competitive points, right? Like there's not purchasing stuff like that, is there? Like I haven't played League in a while.
You like accumulate currency the more you play. That you
Right,
can
but that's
buy stuff.
general, right? It's not like
But I think you get more out of when you play ranked and stuff. So
Oh, okay,
it's like
okay.
transitionable, I guess. But
Yeah. No, absolutely. I like again, I think if you're in top 500, even heroic, you should have gotten a legendary skin. You get to choose the hero. Like the UI would basically boom, all right, which hero do you want? And you get this crazy awesome like this Reinhardt skin. I mean, it's like amazing versus
So you
like a
mean the
golden
skin-
weapon.
Do you mean
Yeah.
the skin would have been like restricted to top 500?
Yeah, like a heroic skin.
See, that's the thing too. Going back to the Reinhardt skin, I feel like they're releasing this now because that looks like a master skin from Heroes of the Storm. And early on, there were leaks the fact that they were going to have master weapons for characters. I think that might fall in line with that Reinhardt. Like that may have originally been intended to be like a heroic style skin, but they must have changed their mind about it.
Yeah. He looks awesome. I mean,
And
like,
how do you top that though now? Like if
right.
they eventually
I
if they
know.
eventually come out with something super epic and they're like, all right, only like the 0.1% of people are gonna get this skin or something. How does it top that? Like I just feel like they're kind of.
They have the entire weapon system for
Yeah.
only gold weapons.
but that's
They-
lame, dude. I'm
I know.
sorry.
Eventually,
That's
they're
lame.
gonna have to have something else that costs more points. But then, what do you even do when you already like went? Like, platinum weapons are just gonna look dumb. It's like,
Yeah.
then why would you even spend money on gold weapons? They're in an awkward spot there.
Well, so it's one of those things where they want everything accessible to people in some way, right? And I actually don't agree with that. I think the top players or players that have some kind of achievement should have something that we all can't get or we strive to get.
Or you have to
versus
pay a
just
shitload
farm.
of money to get.
Even if
there's
that's like I
items
don't
in
even want
Dota
that.
too.
Like I understand the
Why?
business.
I don't mind that.
I
I don't mind that.
I don't know. I understand the business aspect of it, but I just wish there was just some things that were extremely, rare, just generally in the game, and it was given to folks that either are super good or they've done something that's super rare in the game. So
True love is rare. Close the game.
yeah,
you
there
know.
you go, Diva.
I disagree with you guys on this. I'm sorry, guys. I think everything should be available to anyone.
Okay, I mean that's what they think too. So that's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Oh, really?
Well,
I'm not listening.
it should be available to anyone, but not that easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of season 2, and since season 1 in Stars it was a total disaster, they announced
it?
the season 2 changes. I mean, there was definitely a lot of things they did wrong, but Jeff Kaplan came out with a developer update that summed up a lot of things that they're going to be changing in season 2, and
You have a set
some of
amount
the
of time
things
to-
are first off, the skill points is going to be much larger numbers, which is thank goodness. Okay, because these like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I just felt like it didn't feel like a big enough difference between folks that are completely casuals and the people at the very top, like Reinforce here. So thank God they're gonna have thousands.
Hey.
Huck too, Huck and Ster,
And
both of you guys.
Ster?
Both
Yeah.
of you guys,
Fuck you, ChanManV.
I'm just
What?
talking. Golly. Anyways, like I'm glad they're using bigger numbers now, and it's honestly this whole point system is getting closer to what StarCraft is, and I think StarCraft 2
It's
has
inflated Yu-Gi-Oh numbers. I kind of get it, but couldn't it have been 500 and been the same thing? It's like the final
could've been
number
smaller,
of
but-
the 5,000. It looks a little bit. I don't know. I'm just complaining about everything today. I'm gonna stop.
No, I mean, I think it's. I mean, it could be smaller, but I don't know. People like bigger numbers, and it just gives you more range to play with too. And people gaining hundreds of points just feels better than gaining 10
Wait,
points, 20 points.
You're complaining about the Type 500 or what?
I'm complaining that it's a 5,000 now, and it could be
Ah.
500. Because when you
Yeah,
look
just the
at it,
total number.
it's easier to convey numbers between. It's only been out for a little while now. It's just a little confusing to see. Like you have this 3,672 team versus 3,485, and
Right,
it could have
okay, I
it could
know
have been
what
a
you mean.
little bit shorter
Right.
because it only shows you the team balances when you join a game for like a brief second. The faster you can understand that, a little bit better.
The better it is, yeah.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah, before being like, oh, it's 77 versus 77. Like, okay, we're even.
We're
Now
pretty
it's
much even, yeah.
it's hard. Yeah, you have to like really.
Yeah, the
I
average
don't know how
number.
to
That is
read.
yeah, I know what you mean by that. They do have tiers now, though. Like that's kind of nice. Once you've cleared a tier, I think except for the top 2 tiers, I think once you've gotten to a certain tier, you can't drop below it, which is very. It's not
What the-
exactly like.
What this reminds me of is when we were doing the cast and they had the fucking stupid clock at the top and there was 3 decimal points when it could have just been 1. That's basically what it's like, right?
Yeah,
You just want
yeah.
1, not fucking 3. Like it's just inconsequential.
Inflated Yu-Gi-Oh numbers.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, you like the bigger numbers, though, right? I mean, did you guys like that it was 2 double digits before?
I think 1 to 100 was bad for the reasons they said, but I mean, I guess it's in the right direction.
Yeah. Reinforce.
Yeah, the bar kind
What
of
do you think?
sucked. Like, just getting like a bit of a bar, it kind of sucked. It was like didn't feel rewarding at all. It's like his points are better, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much it's gonna change things.
The bar wasn't even correct when it said 74, 74, then 75.
Yeah.
Like, it
When
was
you
a
were in the
little
top
bit.
500, you didn't even get a bar. You just said like, oh, you increased like.
Yeah.
25.
And that
This
was
magic
also
number.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. All right. So another thing that they changed was that there's no more sudden death. I mean, there are a lot of these things that they were hinting at, or we kind of knew that was coming, but no more sudden death. Thank goodness, right? I mean, that was like the biggest thing everybody hated, no matter what skill level. Everybody hated that, or the coin flip. You know, just all that good stuff. That's all gone now. Any thoughts on that? Any? I mean, I'm figuring you guys
It's all
agree with
good.
that. Yeah. Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Time bank is the shit.
My biggest concern with everything has been how long it'll take to complete payload maps with Time Bank. I haven't gotten to see it or play it enough, and a couple of the games I've watched have just been like, oh, we're streaming and we're all really good players, so no one's even getting to the end. I haven't even seen how Time Bank worked, but like before Volsaya took forever, it would be a pain for like payload maps to take 50 minutes to finish because of Time Bank.
Is there a lot of
I don't know
downtime
enough.
between? Because I heard they reduced the downtime between every.
They
spawn or
reduced,
whatever.
yeah.
Mhm.
They reduced.
That helps.
Yeah. But I think like payload maps are so advanced compared to like 2CP, so it feels kind of weird going through the same map twice. I don't know. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could
I
be
mean, like,
long. They're definitely
strategic-
going to be longer, right? I mean, they're definitely longer from that standpoint using this new time bank system. But I don't know. It's still worth it. Even if it is a little bit longer, it's still worth just all this. Just
Yeah,
not having
yeah.
to do the sudden death.
It will
thing.
never
That
be
was
as
the
long
most-
as 2CP anyway, probably. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think the last thing too. I think that's pretty much the big things that he was talking about.
Did he ever address why they increased the golden weapon points? Because they were like, yeah, we.
Oh, yeah, they multiply that
doubled-
times
or,
10, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiplied by 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm
because
gonna
if you
explain
get
that in a bit, and they didn't.
he actually did.
Who
In a
did?
bit. If you tie on a map, which is supposed to be really rare, you get 5 points,
Yeah.
which is half of 1, and half of 1 point would look really weird if it wasn't bloated.
Yeah,
It's
that makes sense.
everyone's really enjoying me say Yu-Gi-Oh numbers too.
Yu-Gi-Oh reference might be the first Yu-Gi-Oh reference we've had on this show. Yeah, so season 2 is gonna be coming in pretty soon here, right? I mean, it's basically 2 weeks after the season 1 ended. That we would get a chance to try it. PTR, you can obviously jump on and try the changes. And then there was a big update today that I didn't actually get a chance to see, like on the PTR.
Oh, it is
so-
Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Are there
so-
notes?
have no idea what it was.
I didn't see them before the show, but maybe there is now. But you can try that, you guys. You can download the PTR, jump on it right now, and you can play the new map. The brawl actually on the PTR is essentially quick play with the new map, so you don't have to like try and keep queuing up and
That's
quick
good.
play to get.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that. That's
holy
good.
crap! We need a map preference feature in at least quick play so that folks can play the maps they want to play. But yeah, go ahead and try that out, guys, and I guess let us know what you guys think. All right, let's talk. Oh, go ahead. You got one
I was
last
just gonna
comment?
say it's cool that they're doing these balance changes in between season. I had heard that this
Mhm.
PTR is supposed to last a little bit longer, and I want anyone who has issues with it, like if you're like Hanzo's stupid right now, be as vocal as you can, because last time they let Zenyatta through and it
Pissed
determined the
everybody
whole
off.
meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have spent more time with that. They even said they wanted to try some different things with them. They never did. So be vocal.
Yeah, we did. I mean, they're
Buff Soldier.
buff
Tell
soldier.
everyone.
Yes.
Post it on the forums everywhere. Otherwise, you're just
Soldier
gonna see
everywhere.
Farah. No more
Remove
Farah.
hit scan characters. More Farah.
Buff Discord.
We're not seeing either of them, so like, I mean, what's the deal right now? Like, at least
We are going to see more Farah.
we are gonna see more.
Farah
okay.
meta is the worst. I mean, we have Hanzo as counter now because he's
Gonna
basically
see more
skilled, so-
May.
Yeah.
Especially after the tournament and with her
Yeah,
being buffed.
I
May is
agree.
gonna rise.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, let's talk some meta. Let's save the meta talk for like when we start talking about the tournament.
I'm
here.
sorry, Ster. Okay. I don't want any. I don't want any Farah. I don't want any May. Like, sorry, dude.
He doesn't like it.
Go
All
quick
those
play,
things
man.
make Ryan.
I don't
Honest
want
life
any
living
May
hell.
actually.
Oh really?
May was cool because she was uncool.
You
But if she
loved me. You're
becomes
such
popular-
a hipster, man. You
I know,
totally
if she-
loved me.
Is
in
that
the
is that
beginning.
why you like Farah now?
God, that's fucking.
No, I
You're
just always like
I just
Farah.
want Farah.
I just like projectile characters, but
Okay. All right. All right. So, well, let's talk about Gamescom. Obviously, one of the biggest games conference that we have every year in the gaming industry. And you guys, I know you guys had to work a lot of it. Did you guys get a chance to check out the floor or anything that's going on? Not at all, right? Yeah. I mean, I know you guys are freaking full.
I actually got a chance to walk around. I came in really early one day. Huck stayed in bed. He was smart. But I walked around a bit. I got in a little bit before there was a huge crowd, so it was easier to just see what was there.
Yeah.
The Blizzard area was gigantic. Like, same thing they have at BlizzCon, maybe even like more spread out because Gamescom's so huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, their area was pretty cool.
Wait, you mean the size was like the size of the convention center in Anaheim? Like for the Blizzard stuff? No way, that big, right?
The stage was pretty big, man.
That big?
I mean,
Wow,
it was like
huge.
it was a huge area of like all the four corners of the world, like north, south, east, and west, for like all the Blizzard games. It was pretty crazy. If you check out some of the like they had a cosplay contest. If you look at the crowd that showed up in front of the stage, it's like you
and
can't
it was like
walk
almost,
through it. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was always packed as well, I think.
Man,
It was
that's
like-
awesome. Yeah, I saw
there,
the
man.
area, the Overwatch area, just with the seated people, and that was a good size too for a conference like that.
Yeah.
So, or convention like that. I can't imagine man, if just what the entire Blizzard area looked like. Very, very cool.
Weird thing is that they had to turn. You couldn't show Overwatch. You had to turn all the monitors away because it has like guns pointing at people, which they don't have in Germany. So even the tournament that we showed, they had to put the whole thing in
they covered
like a black
the
curtain. Yeah,
curtain area.
that's really unfortunate. But I don't know. Gamescom, Germany.
Yeah, would have been super hype. Just getting all the people walking by, standing and watching. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But regardless, you guys had a great crowd. I mean, from what I could tell, at least being at home and watching. But yeah, so I guess the event itself. So let's talk a little bit about that. Obviously, you guys have, I'm sure, a ton to say. But real quick, just high level thoughts on it. What do you guys think overall? So huge success. What do you guys think?
Viewership number, I think it was good. I think that's everybody hit the goals they wanted to hit.
Like 78,000 is what I saw at peak. It might have been higher.
I think it's a little higher than that. I think it was 80 something. But
awesome.
That was good. And then production-wise, overall, I thought it was really good. And obviously, gameplay, it was the best case. I feel like we had a lot of games, a lot of upsets. So
yeah, sir.
Yeah,
Was the observing any good?
It's hard to judge. When I went through VODs of the event, I felt like it was pretty good. I just think observers need more tools and more support more than anything else because it's just a really hard game to observe.
I'm obviously
right?
not talking about the observers themselves. It's like just how it looks on stream, you know.
Yeah, I think it looked okay.
I
think like for the tools they have, it was the best it could be.
Yeah, because they had multiple observers, right? And they had someone stick to just top down and someone looking at spawns and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was good. They had 3 observers, so they had 2 on at any time, and then 1 was on break. And then they changed up how they did it the second day.
Yeah, it was a learning experience for sure. They had a weird system that I think might have actually hurt them a little bit, but overall it was acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to talk a little bit about it later, but yeah, the spectating, I felt like I still don't think it was better than Agents Rising, the spectating for the week. I still think that event had the best. Whatever the end result was, I think it was the best at that event. This one, it was still just a little too much, and I know it has a lot to do with the compositions and stuff, but there was a lot of very unwatchable moments with like Tracer or Winston. And I mean, we have a lot of characters that are just tough to watch at this point, and I felt like there were times where we stuck on those characters for a long time, and it was really, really tough.
Early on, Fish Sticks in particular had really wanted to try and have more tanks and supports be shown on stream because usually they're ignored a bit. But I think that did cause a couple issues with spectating because like Winston and Lucio, like Lucio's sitting in circles, like he's not looking at fights, he's not doing anything. Like you can't tell what's happening from a Lucio point of view. So I understand it. It's nice to want to try and include them, but it's pretty hard to do.
Well, I don't think we should include any. So the end result should just be something that we can. That's viewable, that the spectator. It's all about the spectators, right? So, yeah, we want to showcase these players. That's important too. But what's most important is that it looks good and that on the eyes, it's just not super hard on the eyes and just I mean, some people I bet get headaches watching some of those characters just jumping around and moving like that, and that should be the first and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it could still be better. I'm glad to hear that the setup was like the way it was, multiple people on different vantage points, and maybe just swapping to whatever they think is good. But yeah, I think we still need to get there.
It was up to the casters to press a button and switch it themselves, which is why I think sometimes
it was?
there was some weird thing
my
that happens.
gosh.
So
Wow.
but at one point you had IDQD high nooning a graviton surge, and it's like, oh shit, he's about to shoot him. You were going to see this. It was on his point of view, and then suddenly it switches to the free cam of it, which the person on the free cam computer is only focused on what they're seeing. And they're like, oh, I have a good shot. And they switch it, and they don't even realize they're cutting into the other person. And I think just practice with that kind of system and experience, and
I think
there really weren't that many mistakes.
I think overall you still need like a game director, like someone that's like really
absolutely.
top-notch game understanding
Absolutely.
that can make those executive calls and say like, all right,
That's what they have in like even Heroes of the Storm. Like I did Heroes of the Storm observing for a while, and I think NA they have like people who are like, okay, let's go to this shot, like go like
yeah,
top down, and now we have first person because we have this ultimate. And
yeah, because I
it's
feel
much
like
better.
even from a casting perspective, you can see like where somebody has an ult, or you see someone's like setting up a flank, and it's like we need to follow that guy.
Yeah.
You need someone with like that good game knowledge to know like when that action's going to happen and when something sick's going to happen. And then at the same time, you have observers that are just going to follow the normal people, and you can just stick on them until someone says you need to switch.
Yeah, I mean, I think the camera people did a fine job. I mean, that's what their job is, just to try to get the best shot of whatever they're given, right? But like you said, Huck, the director I think is the most important person in terms of production, and it's going to take a lot of skill, and that person's going to be very, very valuable to these events, whoever it ends up being. But they, the casters, I feel like should just react to what they're given, like on the screen.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
It's just a problem of like, I mean, we had a lot of internal conversations between casters of what we should cover, because there was a lot of complaints from like the very elite that we weren't doing as good analysis as we should. But it's hard because you can only cover what you're seeing on the screen during the game. And then when you get out of the game, you don't want to be like, you remember that time where there was that thing that was like over
Right,
there, and then
exactly.
they did that, and then you can't, like, if you don't have the video in front of you, if you're not showing that to the stream, people are going to be like, what the fuck's he talking about?
Yeah, even for deep analysis, when it's the largest event and the first event, and a lot of newer people are watching that don't even understand like the absolute basics, like why do they hold high ground? It would be like a question, and it's hard to focus on
The 1%.
a lot. It was just hard. It was challenging, I'll say.
No, it's absolutely challenging casting Overwatch for that reason, Ster. And it's like action that's constant too. So it's like you don't want to miss like huge moments, and then people just get all over you guys for that too.
Yeah, I think we got a bit better at calling for replays in the analyst desk that we wanted to have. So because it's easier to talk about the thing when you have it actually right there in front of you. And that system was really good. I think, again, more practice, more work, because we ran into the point where there was an issue with it. Huck, you could talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
There's this huge problem, because we could call in and say like, okay, grab that highlight. It was really good. And it was, I think it was on Anubis, that there was like this really good tracer bomb, and we just constantly tried to highlight things for them. And sometimes they would be like, all right, we got it. And sometimes they wouldn't say anything, so you're not sure. And we thought they had it. Like, we called it in. They said like, yeah, all right, we're going to have that one for you. And they give us like a 5-second countdown, like, all right, we got the highlight coming up. So there's like a second break where no one was talking. So I said, oh, looks like we got that highlight for you guys. It's coming up. And then they go to the highlight, and it's fucking nothing for like 30 seconds. And I just look like a dickhead sitting there, like calling out, like, I got it timed. I could send it to you guys later, but it was like
bad.
It was real. So I'm just like bullshitting for like 30 seconds. Like,
man,
you can see the team on the point setting up. They're in great position here. They're zoning the opposite team. You can see the Reinhardt in the front has his shield up, and I'm just saying shit for 30 seconds because it's nothing. And then I complained. I was like, hey, you guys kind of made me look like a dickhead there. And they're like, all right, we're not doing replay system anymore. It's not in there. And then we just fucking cut it from the show.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
It was one mistake, and they gave up.
So how early was that? I don't even
feels
remember.
bad though in production. Like they know it's on them, so like
Well,
I mean, you
it feels
shouldn't
like
have to feel bad about it because they already know they
Well,
like messed up.
I don't feel bad from their side. It's just like from a viewer standpoint, they're like, "Huck, what the fuck
No,
was that?" Because they don't understand.
No, it's T-Tor's, dude. It's production's fault. They know, I think.
yeah.
I don't think it's anyone pissed at you.
Yeah, the casters.
Unless you're like trying to analyze bullshit.
That's what I had to do though, because I was
know.
thrown into the segment for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
So
it's like the payload's
I'm trying-
moving and nobody.
30 seconds, no one
The
died.
truck's looking
nothing
great.
And you're trying to explain why, for the first time in the tournament, it actually came up and had an animation that said "play of the game." We hadn't had that at all ever, so
yeah,
they
I
were
was
trying
like,
something
what the
new.
hell? I got
And
to play
then-
the games and they never show them.
And then it was
Yeah.
nothing.
There was nothing.
It-
Okay.
It was. I would said it was a very Blizzard-esque play of the game.
Well, it sounds like at least they have the facility to do it. Maybe there should be, I don't know, maybe some kind of time mechanism so that you guys can maybe give them a time, a timestamp of some sort that they can be more accurate about jumping to
Well,
it.
that's what we're trying to do. So
Yeah.
we're doing it as soon as it came up. So like it's
Mm.
fresh in their mind. Like that, the last 30 seconds when that May wall come up,
Yeah.
and it split the team in half.
For other games, someone on the desk doing it just sits by the observer usually and just points out that like, we want this. Because you have a replay guy, right? And you just go to him and it's like, yeah, this is a good moment. Say
Yeah,
this.
he was doing it himself, but it was easier for us to say what we wanted because then we knew what was coming up and what we could talk about because we actually called for it and wanted it. You know,
Yeah.
so if it's just a whole bunch of
Yeah.
random clips, that was nice to like recap and show the good plays, but it was hard to analyze them when it was if there's like 8 of them in a row. How do you focus on the one that was actually important? Because it was just
Can't,
back to
man.
back to back. Yeah, it was.
Have
Yeah.
to be like, there's a sick tracer bomb.
Yeah.
And then they won the fight. Wow.
right. Yeah, well, it just takes like, okay, I think it's just gonna take maybe a few of these, but
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
we'll get
I mean, it
more.
was a
Like
good
the next
start.
one, yeah, it's definitely a good start. And again, like as the facilities are there, it's just a matter of just figuring out the logistics of getting them up there with coordinating with you guys.
Well, I mean, Blizzard also keeps saying they really want to work on the replay system, and even just built-in game stuff. I think eventually will really help the system.
I remember a Reddit post like half a year ago, and someone was like, if you could pick out like your manual play of the game, and just like have it on the disk like every time, like this was the play of the game, and it's just you can analyze and do whatever with it.
Yeah.
Like, it
There-
doesn't have
there's
to be
still
the
a,
exact
there's
play
still
of
a
the game.
timing issue though. Maybe if you guys had a break, then you'd have more time. But going from like the game until ending the game and into analysis is pretty. I mean, that's not much time for them to actually get a clip ready for you guys.
I mean, not really though, is it? Like you can be backstage and go to the panel while people are like shaking hands and make sure you have the right play.
True. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you were you just by the desk like during the entire game.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
like a talk back button basically.
Yeah.
where it's like- I think if we had like one more person on the desk, we could have done that. But even on the last day, I think I got like 1 break. Some people got 0 breaks.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of time. So like it would be rough to like have to go back, run, do
Oh,
clips,
was it
and then
far
come
away?
back to the
Oh yeah,
desk.
the production was not even near us. It was actually
Oh.
outside.
Oh, that sucks.
And like, yeah, so
yeah,
there was
never
some
mind where it's at.
communication issues there. That was, and it's Gamescom, which adds to the
Yeah,
problems.
just loud
Like they
too.
did really well,
Yeah.
given the circumstances. And I just think knowing what we know now, we could have improved it a lot.
Yeah. Well, we kind of jumped to production talk there, but I kind of want to bring it back and talk about the actual play. So, Rogue won the whole thing, and of course, you know, that's kind of one of the main reasons we have Reinforce join us right now. So, I figured we'd do like a mini interview with you. So, first off, how does it feel? I mean, when I saw you guys, you know, beat Envious. I mean, you were one of the first guys to like, you know, jump up with your, you know, fist in the air and just like super hyped about that. But I just want to get, you know, just your opinions on just being the best team. There's no question that you're the best team right now in Overwatch. And how does that feel?
GG easy.
GG easy. I thought you were
No.
gonna be humble tonight,
No.
man. What happened to the
No,
humble
dude,
thing,
like,
dude?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think it's fair to say like we're the best Overwatch team in the world just because we won, right? I mean, we beat
That's-
Is it not?
well,
That's what you do when everyone in the world shows up
Yeah.
to
Is it
the
not?
event.
I mean,
Like you just take that and run with it. You know, if someone wins
No.
Evo for the whole year, they can say they're the best.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that like I won Gamescom, right? But I still like Envious won 57 matches in a row,
yeah.
and they lost
Well,
one.
I have to say,
They're
I'm a
not the
little
best team in the
disappointed
world anymore.
Ooh.
That Envious lost 1 game and was out, and they didn't get a losers because I think they
Yeah.
deserve that. But with time
Sure.
constraints and the way things were going, I mean, it was planned that way from the beginning. But that is a little unfortunate for them.
Yeah. So you don't think of yourself as the best team right now?
I mean, sure, like we won the LAN, like we're the best team on LAN, but like
best team in
I
land is
don't think
best team,
it's-
right? I mean, okay.
No, but
I-
you get what I mean, right? Like it doesn't feel right to say that we're better.
So
This
you feel like
goes
you
to
need
E-League.
multiple
We
wins.
don't-
You need some like
yeah,
consistency.
of course.
Okay.
Like we need
sure.
more accolades to like. I mean, it depends like on the how long the span is. Like if you check the past 3 months,
Mhm.
we were not the best team like the past 3 months. You know, are we really the best team in the world then? Like every team can have
Okay.
an off tournament, and I
Right.
don't think it's justifiable to say that just because a team has an off tournament or anything, just they're not like
Okay, fair enough.
up. Yeah, you get what I mean. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying. You know.
Yeah.
So sure, we won the tournament, but I think like Envious still should be the best team in the world.
What do you think about the overall like the only ranking system we have right now is basically Gosu Gamers? How accurate do you think that is?
Speaking of which, let's take a look at that. Let me see.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look.
I don't even know what it looks like after
I
this
mean,
weekend.
it's been a meme, right?
It's
Pros.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
it's,
I don't wanna-
mean,
I don't want to hate on Gosu Gamers, but like
Yeah.
they always come out first. Like even in StarCraft 2, like 6 years ago, they were the first ones to come out with rankings, and then everybody eventually was like, "This site's just horrible."
No, but it's like if
It's
you watch
better
the
than
CS:GO,
that.
if
This
you watch
one's
the
better,
CS:GO
though.
rankings,
Yeah.
it's like Tai Lu is the 10th best CS:GO team in the world, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's because it's based on like a weird system where if you play shitty teams constantly and never play anybody good, you still get a high rank.
No, I think the
Yeah.
rankings are good during a long enough time span.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not an accurate representation of the current, because Fnatic is obviously better than Complexity in my eyes, but they need to win more games in a longer time.
Yeah.
To like, yeah, and I think also you need the regions are like really messing it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I mean, C9 can win all they want in NA, but it doesn't. Just because they win more in NA, doesn't mean they're better than EU. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what people thought
Yeah.
going into it.
Speaking of which, I mean, let's talk about that. I mean, I think the majority of the Overwatch community felt that NA was the stronger region going into this, and clearly EU performed much better than NA in this. And
Well,
okay, you
well,
think
not really
differently?
though.
No.
Like, we beat Envious, and that's why it looked messed up. No.
But do
I
we
mean,
count
yeah,
Envious
but
even
that's-
as NA? Like,
Yes.
We count them
but
as NA, but even we count them as NA, you beat them. So I mean, we're talking about
Yeah.
that was the best team, and that was the team that with possibly a big spread to the second best team in NA compared to the EU team. So that's a big deal, and that I think further stamps that EU, made a big statement this weekend.
Yeah, I said it in an interview going into the tournament that I think that Envious were probably the favorites by far going into the tournament, but I think that Fnatic and C9 are probably equally good to the top 4 in EU. So I don't think there's a large difference or whatever. I just think the C9 and Fnatic are on par with the EU teams. And I don't think there's a clear region that's better.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we were just talking about with Gosu Gamers. Need more results and more tournaments.
Yeah, I guess. No, but like you even seen like the matchups, like all the matches were like really close.
Yeah, no,
So
definitely. I think that's where.
I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
except maybe C9.
Korea's better anyway. So
Korea's better. Man, seriously,
yeah.
we might be saying that, and who knows.
I just want to play Korean teams like right now,
Mhm.
so I can say that I've beaten a Korean team in like 2 years.
before it gets too bad.
Yeah,
Oh man.
because I'm like, yeah, in 3 years, like, there's no way, dude. They're coming. It's like Reddit, the second coming of Reddit.
I wonder when the first event will be that we actually have like full rosters from all the regions, our full team rosters.
Next
Who
year at
knows,
some
dude.
point. I mean, even BlizzCon could be interesting with the World Cup. It depends who gets on the teams, of course. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be at least like the Swedish team probably still going to be insane.
Oh my god, yeah.
So
That's-
if we get like a really good Korean team versus a really good Swedish team, that would at least be like a kind of see.
Something that's more all-star team kind of thing, more so than.
Yeah, I
Mm,
think just like pure aimers from like Sweden will just wreck everyone.
Pure
I don't think
aimers.
it's that much about teamwork or
Yeah.
well, like in theory, right? Korean teams are going to outstrat everyone, and they're going to outplay everyone. They're not going to outskill the Western teams, in my opinion. So
I
Is that
agree.
true?
you
Is that
pick
true?
together a
Huck,
national
would you
team,
agree
you
with
know?
that? I thought mechanically they would be greater than the
No,
others.
I think mechanically it'll be equal or advantageous to the Western team. It's just the fact that
okay.
like this game is so overlooked right now as far as positioning, ultimate usage, knowing the other team's ultimates, things like that.
Mhm.
There's still a lot of room to improve there.
I mean, yeah,
Else.
the style of Western teams is McCree is all. Let's do it. Let's walk and deathmatch each other. So, yeah, they'll be better at that.
Yep.
Well,
I just think coaching wise, like that's the biggest thing. Korea support wise for their players has been always much better than Western teams.
I mean, I want to see Wungstein somewhere because we've had Doa on here a couple times recently, and he's kind of kept us updated on just the big events over there. And Wungstein is by far the best team right now, so I'd really like to see them at some kind of event, at the very least BlizzCon, whatever's planned there. I mean, that's not, I guess, the World Cup. It would be really cool to see them match up against you guys, or Envious, or whoever, from what region. Because right now there's nothing really planned, and I think it's been an issue of just even bringing them over, flying them over, and having somebody support that.
I'm surprised there hasn't been just an online tournament that says like 5-10K tournament, show match, whatever. Let's have Envious versus Korea.
But then you have all the
back
lag.
and
You
forth.
still have the ping issue, and
Yeah, but-
300 ping.
But
Yeah.
still, it's such a big circle jerk that people would be interested. They'd still tune in 100%.
And we lost to C9 online. Dude. Ping is not accurate, man.
Wow, the shade being thrown.
Who
Humble.
wants to put up
This
$10,000?
is humble reinforced, by the way, guys. So.
But
Oh,
honestly, if they
man.
just threw money, people would tune in just to see.
I like so much want to see a show match at BlizzCon. Just like
Yeah.
any Western team, pick anyone, I don't care, and just the best Korean or Asian team. I just want to see it.
I think it would.
I
I think
think
we
I
would
think
want to see it
Western
for
teams will
good
win by
reason,
far.
right? Just because we just know the history of the Koreans in esports, but it might be kind of odd for Overwatch, just the Overwatch user base or community, that the show match would be a Westerner versus Korean setup. This isn't StarCraft. This is this is Overwatch, which mostly we've seen at ANEU. So that would be kind of odd. But maybe if we had 3 teams, we just had the best team from each region come and battle it out in a show match. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So in terms of preparation, Reinforce, just what you guys did to prepare for the event. Talk to us a little bit about that. Like, did you guys boot camp for a good amount of time beforehand?
Yeah, we boot camp for like 2 weeks. We flew the day after we qualified, so we just played NIP for the qualification match at like 9 p.m. Then we woke up at like 7 a.m. and just flew. So we went to Poland for 2 weeks for boot camp.
Awesome. And how much of a difference do you think that made? Like,
I think it's really hard to pinpoint like how much it improves. Like, it doesn't feel like your results are like any better, if anything.
yeah.
I mean, sure, you can do more strat talk, like more general discussion about things, but it doesn't feel like you improve your game a lot. It just team chemistry and strats and stuff like that.
There seems to be a consistency, though, that all the teams that did boot camp did significantly
Right.
better at the
Yeah.
event than the teams that didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. I'm not saying like I think every team should like boot camp for a big tournament, but it's like it was my first boot camp and it was like kind of weird because I couldn't tell like if we played better or not. Like if we were just play the equal time at home.
Okay. I mean, even just a slight bit of improvement, right, can make the biggest difference at this level.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, yeah. I guess there was improvement in terms of like strats and
Even-
all of that. Just
Even the fact of playing somewhere that you're not used to, I think, is a big factor. Like, I touched a lot on when I was casting that it seemed like Envious were very slow to start, and a lot of their players
Yeah.
needed time to warm up. And I think
Yeah.
that just having that, inconsistent, having to move around, play somewhere where you're not exactly comfortable, kind of get you prepped for that in-person play
Yeah.
that you had to deal with at Gamescom.
yeah, that's probably right.
Generally speaking, I mean, what do you think you guys did better than the other teams?
AKM went off. That's a factor. No, like AKM was like sick.
He was on
I watched the VODs and I
fire.
was like, what the hell? He's just killing everyone. I thought it was a team game. No,
Dude, he was behind your shield most of the time, dude.
no, but it felt kind of weird because we were playing Envious and like they never played Reinhardt, and it felt like a lot of teams just had one strat they relied on like a ton, and we brought out Maze and poke comps and Ana strats and engage comps. I think we played like 3 games on King's Row, and I think we brought out a new strat for every time we played it. And I think that was one of the reasons we won Tech TV as well, because we were like one of the teams that just has the most amount of strats and change up our game.
Do you guys have a coach?
No.
See, and that like once again, I feel like things like that are very, very lacking in the scene right now.
Yeah, I mean, we want a coach,
but no one's good.
and
Like the
someone that records.
best coach is like ex-players, right? 9 out of 10
Yeah,
times.
yeah. I mean, if I got kicked tomorrow, I'd totally be down to coach, because like you need someone with like game understanding as a pro.
Right.
So like no way you can just bring someone in and they know what they're talking about.
Not just that, you have to have a good rapport and respect from all the players too. I mean,
it's not so much about just fundamentals, because everyone gets the fundamentals. It's like you need someone who can actually like just like bring you to a new level and like explain like new shit. Just I don't know.
Open up your mind to stuff too.
Yeah.
Ster.
I don't think there are a lot of free thinkers right now in the competitive scene that are really getting to try new things. I'm glad you brought out the May, but even for May, I was saying it felt like people were starting to understand that May on Hanamura was good. That was kind of a thing more than other things were. I was super happy to see Dignitas try Ana on Gibraltar, but right now everyone's copying what everyone else is doing.
What part was that? The first point?
Yeah, Gibraltar server room. They had an Ana with Winston Reinhardt
on defense.
Yeah, defense. Yeah,
that might have been the first Ana we've seen in competitive Overwatch. In a major event?
Probably, yeah.
I don't think
there weren't
we've
a lot
seen...
of tournaments going in, so sure.
Yeah, but not a major event.
It was like kind of weird scrimming before the tournament, because people were like, "Yeah, Ana is like legit. Like you can do a surprise strat and just Ana ult someone and just go ham." Like people were capturing points in like 30-40 seconds.
And then no one did it.
People just no, because people just stopped using it, because people knew how to play around it and all. Like it was a backup strat for all teams.
You're gonna see it now, I think, that Zenyatta is getting nerfed. That people are gonna have to learn it.
Teams don't want to play Mercy because Mercy is boring.
Well, yeah, Zenyatta's getting nerfed, and Lucio's speed boost is nerfed a little bit too, and I mean, that's the thing. Like we need to see some more. We need to see different supports.
Yeah, I see.
Who's the 5th guest? Like he's coming.
No, but I think it's gonna be really interesting, the next support meta. It's all like about like what you want to do. It's so open.
Yeah.
So cool. Bad players can still rely on Lucio.
So in your opinions, what was the matchup, I guess, or the match of the entire tournament? Personally, for me, it's Envious and Rogue. I mean, that's the most obvious one. Any of the others really stand out to you guys as just something that stood out?
Are you serious right now, ChanManV?
I liked Fnatic versus Misfits because I felt like
oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Their strategy and positioning was really good, and it seemed like they had a plan for every point. So from like that standpoint, I think that was very entertaining.
Fnatic as well, or just Misfits?
Their match against each other, both of them, but more Fnatic. I felt Fnatic like strategy-wise was on another level compared to most teams.
Yeah. Because I told you this, Huck, that like we were really scared of Misfits going in, because they're like one of those teams that are just like very strategical and methodical, and it's like so scary, because like you try to do stuff and they just counter you all the time, and they know what to do and how to react. Yeah. But they just didn't show up. Like, so good for us, I guess.
Watching Envious scrim a week and two before the event, it seemed like they were so bland. Like they either played super passive or they just said, "All right, we're Lucio speed boosting and we're just gonna go kill them." And from other teams, and then like other teams just seemed, I don't know. But that's the problem when you're on top and you're undefeated. It's hard to like plan for changes that you don't feel like you have to make yet.
Yeah, it's like you don't innovate until you've been beaten, right? You're like there's no point in it. It happens in every game, so that's a good point there.
I mean, I guess.
So you thought that was a crazy question, Reinforce?
No, but like, I don't know, maybe I'm biased.
Ster, what was your match of the tournament?
It might just be because I got to cast it, but the first Reunited versus Rogue was a super fun game
Yeah, that
that
was a good one
went
too.
right to the end, just like the finals. But it was also the first time we were actually finally getting to see that May and Ana came out, and it was really all over the place. So it was cool to see. And I think that was also the first control point we saw. Hanamura wasn't in the tournament up until that point, so it got pretty hype.
Yeah.
I'll actually agree. That series was pretty sick. And then they played KOF and we lost because Reunited is super good in KOF.
Yep.
Get good at it.
Yeah.
Like why can't people just get good at it?
Okay.
Why?
Well, it's,
Dude, we were like so bad on KOF like on the boot camp. Like we couldn't figure it out.
What do you think
like
you're doing
super-
wrong on it?
It's just about ulti management and focusing down heroes. It's,
Koreans are gonna do it. They're gonna.
Yeah,
do
but no,
there
but
you
it's
go.
like
well, a lot of people were talking about the whole
It-
Genji pick, right? On Lijiang Tower, like at least in the
Yeah.
MVS one. Was that an issue? I mean, because you guys did switch off of it. I think the second time you guys played Garden.
It's
Or-
so hard, dude. Like, I actually couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But like, I think the swap, like, sure, Genji could have worked. We could have. No, what I'm trying to say is we could have won
Market,
with Genji.
yeah.
Like, there's no problem with the comp, but
Mhm.
us switching to McCree just changed things up. It gave us some more confidence and just
Mhm.
gave us another go at like feeling confident.
It's like a fresh start.
Does that make
Something
sense?
changes.
Yeah. Because we lost 2 in a row, and we're like 1 point away from losing the series. No, we were 1 point away because we won bridge.
Right.
And we kept it on bridge the second time because it works the first time. So we felt confident, and then we were like, okay, it's a new point. We lost last time. We have to change things up. So I don't feel like the Genji is bad.
Mhm.
We just had to play it right, and we didn't. So we just changed things up.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, KOF sucks. I don't know what to do.
Sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't mean my Winston. I just mean in general.
All right. So I guess you don't want to see any more of those single control maps. Is that the thing?
Any more of the what?
Single
Control maps.
points. Are
You
you
I
mean
mean-
just
Koth, I
like
think.
Koth,
KOF.
or- Yeah.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
ChanManV,
Yeah.
get it the fucking together. Come on.
Dude, I'm saying single control, but King of the Hill.
Control point.
Everybody control point. Jeez. But
I had read a comment about people being upset the casters weren't using the correct names for maps, and it's so hard. And every time Jeff Kaplan
because
does like a dev talk,
Yeah.
he always says, "Hey," and the assault maps, like, and then he names all the maps because no one knows what he's talking about. They like tried to distinguish themselves from TF2, and they didn't want to name things the same way, and they just confused everybody.
Just give up, man. At
Ju-
a certain point, you gotta admit defeat.
Yeah.
defeat. Yeah.
Just give up.
Just give
Make a new game.
make
Do you
him.
say Reinforce or Reinforce?
Reinforce, I say. But I get confused because everybody,
Reinforce.
like, people switch it. So then I say Reinforce sometimes. But I want to say Reinforce, and I say it most times than not.
No, Ryan Force
Sir?
has to be.
Reinforce.
I gave the same
Yes.
reason. One, you're a Reinhardt player.
That's true. That's the
Ryan-
biggest reason. You're right.
And whenever the game crashes or whenever it finds a new game in quick play, it says reinstancing. I always say reinstancing, so I'm like
What?
predisposed.
We're Ryan's dancing.
It's just
Okay.
Reinhardt.
All right.
He's got to represent.
You
Okay.
prefer Reinforce, I assume, from this reaction.
At this point, I don't really care.
All right.
But sure, Reinforce. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Reinforce.
All right.
Man,
Reinforce.
like
Welcome, Reinforce.
you're messing up.
You've
made a
got
big
such
mistake.
branding here with Reinhardt
Yeah,
and
I guess-
Reinforce.
Now
Wait,
I'll
yeah,
say
I'm
Reinforce, but
Reinforce.
I'm Reinforce now. What up, guys?
What the fuck?
You just changed it. What the heck? Exactly. What's going on here?
No, I want the meme, right? Is it Reinforce or Reinforce? It's a meme now.
I
It's
think
good
for
for branding.
Memes
yeah.
are good, man. Memes are
Yeah.
good. when it
Look
comes
at
to
look
brand.
at Zoe. The chat just every time she's on stream is just Tracer
Yeah.
Exactly.
nonstop. You want
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
bro.
Just something memorable, right? So okay, well, I think the next big tournament for you guys is going to be, I believe, the Overwatch Open, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be in another 2 months here. So, I guess if you guys win that, then will you consider yourself the best team?
At that point, you have to.
Sure.
You have to, right? Okay, good. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see what happens there.
Depends on all the online tourneys. They matter a lot.
Yeah, it looks like the target's going to at least be on your back this
No,
for the
isn't
LAN
it?
tournaments.
It's like super weird, right? We play the playoffs at like, if we qualify, the playoffs are like 20th of September,
Yeah.
And then the grand final is like 20th of October.
October. It's crazy, the schedule.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, hope the patch is good.
Yeah, I don't like that
Seriously,
either.
right? Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Because so much can change. Like that's the thing that you realize most in
Yeah.
Overwatch is
Yeah.
teams get like really good and really bad very quickly. Like week to week, you could be a totally different team. So it kind of sucks that, going into the playoffs, you could have two teams or all the teams that make it out are very equal, and then like a month later, a team could be shit and a team could be
Yeah.
awesome, and then you play and it's gonna be like the worst finals ever.
Yeah, because going into the next patch, like already, it's like, oh, Misfits, they don't really have same quality Hanzo player as like we have in Twick or Reunited as in Kid,
Mhm.
And it like sucks for them, Just bad patch. Good luck.
It's true.
I think they are going to keep balanced in between seasons though, because that seems how they want to pace it. And it
Well,
would be
yeah. You can't
Well,
have the
that's
McCree
like-
situation again.
Yeah.
The McCree situation was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So
Is
whoever had
Blizzard
the best
Just-
McCree won.
Blizzard's they're definitely part of. I mean, they're working with just the folks with the Overwatch Open, right? So they should be coordinating it much better. They're not gonna be like Hearthstone, just releasing like cards like right in the middle of their championship, just like big events. At least the Overwatch team seems to have been a little better, except for that one McCree. It'll definitely be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this.
They're-
I'm hoping everything will be at least stable by the
they're
time you guys
actually,
play the
like-
big matches.
Go ahead, Ster.
That's why I'm saying to be vocal now while it's in PTR, because last time I think a lot of people thought, oh, Zenyatta won't make it into the live like this. And then it happened.
Well, it actually still feels like Blizzard is way more open to like balancing like whenever.
Mhm.
So I'm just happy. I guess. Just buff Soldier.
Buff Soldier.
Yeah, I was talking about characters we didn't see at all, and I completely forgot about 76. He didn't get in one game.
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the next patch is the big patch for Soldier, because everyone's gonna play poke next patch, and there's no Soldier. And it sucks.
Well, that's just a cycle, Like it seems to be a never-ending cycle. We've only had the game out for.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's even more relevant now because there's less characters.
Mhm.
So if a character isn't good, then someone else becomes way more important to have. So like just because Soldier isn't good, it's way more important to have a McCree,
Yeah.
So I think it's way more important to like have everything as equal as possible and not have them cycle and be like whatever. You need options to pick something else for the same kind of team role.
Fair enough. We actually see different teams rising and falling based on these kind of character resurgences too.
Yep.
So if that happened, yeah, let's have to see which teams come up. I guess final thought. Well.